Najella, who's fighting for freedom, Najella, from southern to northern zone, Najella, Mama Ambazonia, Najella, a land we could call our own, Ambazonia, Najella, 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 mana, Najella, 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 she's fighting for freedom, Najella, from southern to northern zone, Najella, Mama Ambazonia, Najella, a voice we can call our own, Najella, 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 mana, Najella, Najella, mana, Najella, Najella, mana, Najella, Najella. Hello. Welcome to Tori Day Talk Show. This man Najella again. So how is everybody doing, Ambazonian? I hope everybody's well. Today, again, I'm in the studio with our Czar of Education in Ambazonian, the Ambazonian Education Czar, Mr. Abang. So I'm going to welcome him. He's not live with me, but he's in studio, and he's going to be talking with me. So you all just listen keenly. Yes. Okay, welcome, Mr. Abang. But before I go on with my questions, I want you first to talk to the Ambazonian people, so they should hear you. And you have anything for them, Papa? Just spell it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man, Najella, for your indefatigable work at educating our people and making them understand who we are, why we fight, and where we are heading as a people. This is a job for which you do without stress, without any remuneration. It's voluntary. How else can one contribute to the growth of his nation? We will never stop paying tribute to you and to all the freedom fighters dotted all over the world, and especially those who face the bullets on ground zero. I send you fraternal greetings. And to all Ambazonians across the globe, especially those facing deportation in all the nooks and crannies of the world, our sympathies go with you. God will protect you. God will guide you. And God will shower leaders across the world with wisdom to give you preferential treatment. We are at a point in time where we can never stop talking. Why must we talk? We must talk because things are not going well. And intellectuals are called to the table to educate the masses so that they can take informed decisions and be masters of their destiny. Our Vice President, Dr. Julius Nee, christened this Youth Day of shame and insult to the Ambazonian people, a day set aside for honoring EML Ndele, Kuva Likenye, and Mulan Joli Tobe. These are great patriots with unfathomable loyalty and patriotism to the nation. We who are alive have lessons to learn from these patriots who worked for Ambazonia and died in the service of their people. For the past 62 years, the two overseas governors of French Cameroon have cumulatively lied to the youths about a tomorrow that never comes. And as we are speaking, another one is lying to the youths today in French Cameroon. We are glad that we have drawn the line. That message should not cross the Mungo. The sacrificial generation is the Cameroonian youth today. Most of them are noted for the wrong reasons and brainwashed by the regime to act idiotically. For instance, how on earth can a Cameroonian youth train himself or herself to become a Republican guard, a soldier? Then he's adorned with military uniform, paid a salary to go out on the streets to kill other youths using taxpayers' money and resources of the nation via the guns which they have been bought and supplied, which have been supplied to them. It is a disgrace. And they are doing this in support of neo-colonialism and a very bad system of government. They are doing this against the constitution that governs their own country. And they are doing this against international law, which prohibits colonialism, annexation, genocide. When we talk about kakistocracy and kleptocracy, Cameroon provides a very good example. We may have to explore this because in the context of this, you can understand that this is a youth day of shame. A kakistocracy is a system of government where the least competent, the most unqualified individuals hold public office and authority to govern. The term is derived from the Greek words kakos, meaning bad or worse, and kratos, meaning power or rule. So in a kakistocracy, those in power often prioritize personal interests and gains over the welfare and well-being of the people they govern. This often leads to ineffective governance, corruption, widespread suffering. A kakistocracy is often used to describe governments or institutions that are perceived as corrupt, incompetent, or self-serving. Does that fit anything that you know? Okay, if it doesn't, then look at this again. We are dealing with a kleptocracy. A kleptocracy is a system of government where those in power use their authority to steal, embezzle public funds, resources, and assets for personal gain. The term is derived from the Greek words kleptos, which means thief, and kratos, which means power or rule. So in a kleptocracy, corruption is rampant. You know about the Olembe Gate, you know about the COVID-19 scandal, you know about the Glencoe scandal, all this, and you know about the cabinet that is languishing in Kondenge prison. And those in power prioritize their own financial interests over the welfare and well-being of the people they govern. This can lead to widespread poverty, inequality, and social unrest. Kleptocracy is often characterized by embezzlement of public funds, corruption and bribery, nepotism and cronyism, theft and natural resource embezzlement or thievery, money laundering and other financial crimes. Kleptocracy can have severe consequences, including economic instability, social unrest, and human rights abuses. We are also dealing with an autocracy. You play in Cameroon, you speak against them, they will eliminate you. Whoever you are, whatever you do, there is no respect for human life. We are almost dealing with an aristocracy wherein there is a tendency for a particular clan to have complete control over all the economic resources and centers of power. And there is even that tendency of a son inheriting the position of the father. We saw this even crowned by their master in France. And then there are elements of democracy involved. And so you find young people all who are willing to enjoy life, but they are not willing to work. And so they sign into a demonic and occultic society or societies that initiate them into a world that is known only by those that ruin the country. How can they be so dull to consciously use you, young people of Cameroon, to support them? Especially when they unleash the worst conditions of living for all the citizens. How on earth can they be so comfortable in hell on earth in anticipation of another hell after this life? So when you are celebrating Youth Day, what are you celebrating in the Cameroons? For Ambazonia, we have said no, it will not happen in our territory. So Youth Day is a day of shame. It is the day that they lied to you, they lied to me, they lied to all of us that the youth are the leaders of a tomorrow that has never come and may never come. They seek ways to continuously occupy Ambazonia, change their own constitution, rig elections, commit genocide, and clinically overhaul their bodies from time to time, so as to be able to maintain long-term reign of terror over their people. Yet, youths go out and celebrate. What are you celebrating? And can they have the audacity to send you out there to celebrate a Youth Day that corresponds to the day that they shamefully annexed your country? Think about this. Even if we were part of them, with this knowledge, the knowledge of this kind of people that are in rulership and in leadership, can you go out and celebrate? The answer is no. All reasonable people will not do it. Except they are under a spell, and we'll come to that in another story at another time. Cameroonians are hypnotized. The whole world does not know what is happening in Cameroon. When there are elections, all the Juju people in the south, in the east, in the west, they come in and hypnotize the people and swear for their God and swing and tell you openly that even if two people vote, their president will be made to rule. And it has always been like this. So what is it? Is it election, selection, or juju politics? This Cameroon you see today, you will not recognize it in the days to come. The level of greed, spoliation, and wickedness in it has reached an astronomical height. Evil destroys itself, and the right time is now. She is waiting only for an explosion. Cameroon citizens are living and partly living. They suffer to get paid. And when they get paid, they suffer to spend their money. There are so many bottlenecks to living a dream life in the Cameroons. And can the youth really go out there to celebrate? And if they can celebrate, what are they celebrating? These youths are the cursed generation. Most of this generation has retired without having had a job. They will die without having lived life to the full and exploited their talents to the full. Yet the ancestors ruling over them have refused to resign, die, or give way to the youths whom they lie to every day and postpone their chances of living well on earth. But where did it all begin? And how did Ambazonians get involved? In 1961, they cheated on us. They betrayed us. They lied to us. They killed us to frighten us to accept slave status and neo-colonialism or die. And they have been doing it up to date. Evidence of mass graves exists all over the territory of Ambazonia and even in Yaoundé, where most of them were transported and massacred and dumped in mass graves. There will be a time of reckoning. And each head that was cut off, killed, disappeared will resurface. And those who did the act will be held accountable. We have lived in a country where people kill in order to die. Ahijo and his killing lieutenant killed us for a length of time and handed over to his successor, who has continued to kill us up till now. Our forefathers were gentlemen, and they kept their word, which was their bond. But the French Cameroonese lied to them and continue to lie to us and manipulate us up till date. We have said no, it will not continue like this. They have proven that they were monsters hidden in human cloaks and very disingenuous. So in 2017, we severed the abusive relationship. Domestic and international law agree with us that when a relationship becomes very abusive, for the safety of the spouse or the safety of the other person in the relationship, he or she is supposed to run away or supposed to be extracted. The relationship is supposed to be broken. We have broken the relationship because of excessive abuse. Ambazonia is independent and yet was building the best future for ourselves. Ambazonians are not fools. Let nobody deceive you. The English say a fool at 40 is a fool forever. Ambazonia is 65 years old today. Thus, she is wise enough, after going through all the robbery and thuggery experiences acquired from the diabolic reigns of two consecutive genocide occupying French Cameroon regimes and their impositions aimed at effacing and distorting the southern Cameroon's history, thereby humiliating our people and dehumanizing them. Imposing a youth day on 11th of February is an attempt to hide the ignominious plebiscite of shame, which paved the way for the recolonization of southern Cameroon by France through her proxy state of French Cameroon. These facts are clear, well documented. There is nothing worth celebrating on this day because people celebrate milestones, achievements, not the humiliation of a people through recolonization, annexation, and genocide, as the case has been in Ambazonia. This is a national day of mourning in Ambazonia because it landed us in a 65 years old genocide, underdevelopment, and other undocumented abuses, which the ACN is trying to document and present to the world currently. My dear compatriots, on the 11th of February 1990, Nelson Mandela was released from jail. This action alone shaped the modern history of South Africa. It is worth celebrating. On the 11th of February 1789, the US Congress held its first plenary session, which marked the beginning of parliamentary sessions in governance. This is worth celebrating. Unfortunately, On the 11th of February 1961, Southern Cameroons voted in an infamous plebiscite to join Cameroon Republic, which gave Cameroon and her masters room to manipulate the process of Southern Cameroon's decolonization to actually recolonize the quasi-independent state of Southern Cameroon. So from a quasi-independent state of Southern Cameroon, we regressed, we went backwards into a colonized territory. What a shame. This sad event in our history gave the special status independent country named La République du Cameroon. Because even then, Cameroon is not independent, judging from the neo-colonial pacts that she signed with France, where she shares sovereignty with the French Republic. And who did they sign the pact with? They signed the pact with local anti-independentists from Cameroon. And they have been ruling Cameroon up to today. So when we're talking about independence, they do not understand what it is all about. Even Cameroonians do not know, because they do not even know what independence is all about. If you do not know, let me tell you, how can an independent Cameroon country be using a currency called francs? That is where it all begins. My dear education stakeholders, the boycott of the 11th of February on what we call the Youth Day in Ambazonia can be justified by several reasons beyond being an act of civil disobedience in law. This is an act in law. Let nobody deceive you. Don't be frightened. Civil disobedience is allowed in law. Non-violence is allowed. The boycott is a form of one, resistance to a disguised French Cameroon colonial rule. The boycott can be seen as a resistance movement against the Cameroonian government's control over Ambazonia, echoing the Swadeshi movement in India, which resisted British colonial rule through economic boycott of British goods, and they were forced to bow. 2. Promoting self-determination. By boycotting the Youth Day, Ambazonians can assert their right to self-determination and independence, highlighting their desire for autonomy and freedom from Cameroon's rule and oppression. 3. Protest against human rights abuses. The boycott can also serve as a protest against human rights abuses committed by the Cameroonian government against Ambazonian civilians, including arbitrary arrests, inhumane treatment, imprisonment of our people in droves, torture and extrajudicial executions, and removal of patients on their sick bed and ICU units in hospital, and killed in the confines of the hospital or the hospital premises. Some dragged and on the city centers. What a shame. These are people who want to rule you. These are people who want you to celebrate Youth Day with you. 4. Economic empowerment. By boycotting Cameroonian-controlled businesses and institutions such as the Brasseries du Cameroon, Ambazonians can promote economic empowerment and self-sufficiency, reducing their dependency on the Cameroonian government and economic institutions. We build our own economy by boycotting their own resources and goods and services. Let them back and leave our territory. 5. Unity and solidarity. The boycott fosters unity and solidarity amongst Ambazonians. Everybody from Victoria up to Akko, down to Widikum, there must be no alignment with this Youth Day of shame. Because this calls Cameroon to the negotiation table. We were not slaves. We were not beaten at war. We were not defeated in the war. We came together as two brothers, equal in status. Today, they are behaving as if they are masters or the gods over us. They dictate to us. They send our brothers to come and lie to us. They cheat us. They kill us. They do anything they want to do. They have right of life and death over our people. These reasons collectively justify the boycott of the 11th February Youth Day in Ambazonia as a legitimate act of resistance against colonial rule, human rights abuses, and oppression. And everybody in the world bear us witness that this is an act of resistance against the oppression that we have cried for 65 years and we have refused to heed. I'm glad the whole world is experiencing turmoil because you now know what it means to go through torture, to go through killings, to go through deportation, to go through all kinds of manner of treatment around the world. This is what Ambazonians have been suffering. Thank you so much, Najella, for giving me this opportunity to explain this concept and these foundational issues to our people. Let them know that this matter is very serious. The road to the Prime Minister's village is unpassable right now as we are speaking. After 65 years, people are elected or chosen amongst Ambazonians to go and whitewash the international opinion and give the impression that they are serving in government when they are only serving their bloated stomachs, their wives. Some are getting married to 5 wives, some are marrying 2 wives, one from Ambazonia, one from Iwundoland, and all kinds of things. Some are even changing their names to bear names that are favorable to those who are oppressing us so that they can have bread and butter. That story must come to an end. And the right time is now. Thank you for your kind attention, Najella. Thank you, my most distinguished audience. Spread the word and let us be free.
Thank you, Mr. Abang. Yep, you've said a lot, and I hope our people will listen to this. I have some questions for you, and I will start. Okay, here come. Mr. Abang, could you briefly explain the historical context of the Ambazonian struggle for independence and why events like this, like the 11th February Youth Day, are considered insignificant in I'm sorry in our quest for self-determination. I'm sorry. Did you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I got you clearly, ma. I got you
Okay,
clearly.
Papa. Okay.
You were saying that I should kind of say why the event, the 11th of February,
The
is
independence struggle,
considered
yes.
insignificant in our quest for
Yes.
self-determination.
Yes.
You know, you can take it from many angles, but the bottom line is simple. On the 11th of February, 1961, when the whole world was waiting for colonies to gain independence from their colonial masters, Britain and France conspired, since they are the Oga quarters of the UN Security Council, that we will not get independence. Yes, that's a fact. That we will not get independence because there is nothing in the charter like independence by joining. That is the first flaw. So they broke the charter of the United Nations, which guarantees every people or all peoples of the world to gain their independence from oppression and colonial rule. So we transition from one colonial master to another through a fraudulent process that we had described and we continue to describe up to date. We call it a plebiscite of shame. So Cameroon, on the 11th of February, calls our youths out to celebrate their own shameful treatment in the process of the decolonization of their nation. What a paradox. And for so many years, our people have danced around like lunatics. But a fool at 40 is a fool forever. We are 65 years old. We are no longer fools. So we have said we will have to implement our decision to become an independent country. We will not and will never be subjugated by any power on this earth. We will fight, we will resist until we get what we want as a people. Because we have already been a quasi-independent state with our state institutions, which were functioning very well in preparation for an independent country, not in preparation for annexation and recolonization. So this shameful treatment of our people and degradation, dehumanization of our people cannot be allowed to continue. So we are grateful to our forefathers who kept the fort, who kept reminding the world that the disgrace, the accumulation of Ambazonia must be redressed. They needed justice, and the time for justice is now. So this day is a day that is a symbol of resistance and defiance for Ambazonians. We use this occasion to protest against Cameroon's rule and advocate for our independence. And we use boycott and alternative celebrations as a way of expressing our anger on this particular day. So instead of organizing Youth Day celebrations in honor of our oppressors and in honor of a disgraceful event that led us into slavery, underdevelopment, and recolonization, we are organizing alternative events like what we are doing now, like this, a talk show, to educate our people on our Ambazonianness, our culture, our heritage, and our identity, and re-emphasizing the need for us to stand and defend an independent Ambazonia, where we'll have our roots tied, not promises, where we'll have our seaport constructed, not promises, where we'll have our airports constructed, not promises, where we'll have our hospitals fully functional, not promises, where we'll have our educational system, not a caricature that helps in an assimilation process. So this is, in a nutshell, the significance of this day to us. While the enemy celebrates, we mourn. We have removed the mask. We have seen the truth. And don't see the truth, my dear Ambazonians, and go back to your mess. Because after this, they will go from house to house as they did with the Bamilikis and the Basa and slaughter you. Cameroon does not forgive and they do not forget. And what Cameroon are we talking about? We are talking about people who fought against the independence of their own country. Thank you, Najella, for this question.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Abang. Okay, for Ambazonian youths and family boycotting this foreign event, what practical steps should they take, and how can they use platforms like social media to spread awareness and encouragement? But before you answer this question, please, Mr. Abang, can you listen to this audio before you reply? Please, I would like the studio, please, to play me this audio. of somebody on ground zero talking.
Hello, greetings, fellow Ambazonians all over the world, in ground zero, in diaspora. Greetings to our leaders, greetings to our soldiers. It is a shame for you and Ambazonia to come out on 11 February to celebrate. What is 11 February? 11 February is a day of shame. It's a day of disgrace. It's a youth day for La Republique. Are you a La Republique? Are you a Cameroonian citizen? Are you a Cameroon civilian? No. If you come out to celebrate 11 February or 20th May, you are equally telling us that you are a La Republique. You are equally telling us that you are a black leg. If you are an Ambazonian, listen to me carefully. You have no right to celebrate that 20th May. It represents La Republique. It doesn't represent us. It represents the colonial masters. Please, as an Ambazonian, if you cannot come out openly to support Ambazonian Liberation War, just stay indoor rather than coming out to celebrate, because you are risking your life. Stay indoor without coming out is best for you. So I advise any civilian that is coming out to celebrate should better stay indoor, because it doesn't represent anyone. You understand? It doesn't represent Amazonian. It represents La Republique. So be wise, stay at home and be safe. Stay home and be safe for your own good. We are Ambazonians. A true Ambazonian civilian or parent will not send his child out there to go out and allow his child to go out there and be celebrating. What are you celebrating? What are you celebrating? They have killed your children, murder our brothers, murder freedom fighters, murder our people. Still, you are still sending your children out there to go and celebrate Day of Shame. Are you not tired enough? Are you not tired? Are you not ashamed that the terrorist military will come out and kill your children, and you are still sending your children out there to go and be killed? Be warned. There are IEDs, there are bombs planted all over. If your child die, do not come out and be crying that Ambazonian do this. You call your death for yourself. Stay home and stay safe. God bless you.
Okay, Mr. Amber.
Thank you so much for this clip. It's very informative. But here we are talking non-violence. You know, education is in the domain of humanitarian. It's a humanitarian effort. And we are saying that when it gets to a hate like it has become in Ambazonia, self-defense becomes a very potent force in addition to non-violent action. So while the speaker advocates for stay at home and the dangers inherent in the revolutionary order, we are telling you that this is high time you take your destiny into your hands. If you think that you have to be able to have the kind of life that you are entitled, then you must do the right thing. Cause La Republique to do the right thing. Cameroon must come to the table. French Cameroon and Southern Cameroon must sit on the table. Cameroon can go up and down, kill to the last man. Use all your money to kill anybody that you want to kill. Send them to jail as if you will live forever. Ahijo killed. Where is he today? Fochile killed and ran mad at the end of his life. He was ranting like a madman. So many of you will kill people, steal all the wealth, but you will die hopelessly and be buried in a narrow grave. Be careful that Cameroonians don't rise against these thieves and this bad government. Just be careful. We are warning you. Ambazonians are warning you. They have always been warning you for 65 years. We were warning and advising and cautioning before this war broke out. Today, we are telling our people in the domain of civil disobedience, please stay at home on the 11th of February. Don't come out. It is a sign that you do not like what is going on in your country and you want it to be handled on the table in broad daylight, not in hiding. Stop taking money, taking our oil money, taking our money from the CDC, taking our money from the plantations, taking our money from the mineral and the sea resources and the taxation, and then using it to bribe our people to support a lie. It will not work. Cameroon can take it from me today. It will not work. And all those who are waiting for their resources to be stolen, for a thief to steal your father's resources and then come and give you a share to help the thief to kill your brethren, you are the greatest evil that the world has ever seen. And this is an occasion we are telling our people, write hashtag down with traitors, black legs. Because Cameroon is where it is because of traitors. Traitors signed pacts with France in order to destroy their own country. Ambazonians are doing the same, having learned no lesson, having forgotten nothing. Hashtag down with traitors. This should appear on your timeline. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter accounts. Send messages on email, WhatsApp. Tell your people that they must stand up for what they truly deserve through peaceful means. 100% boycott. If you come out, we may not beat you, we may not fight you, but you would have told the world that you are a disgrace, that you are a shame, that you are participating in the dehumanization of your people, in the maltreatment of your people, in the enslavement of your people, in the abuse of your people, in the genocide that is taking place in your land. You want the people that have been killed, over 70,000 of them, just to be forgotten. You just forget it and then walk over it, drop your weapons and come and let's continue to live life as usual. With traitors, with people who are not even ready to govern, with people who are not ready to do the right thing, with people who are ready to sell everything and then go and live in the Continental Hotel somewhere in a foreign land and nobody questions them. Nobody. So we are saying that at the pre-boycott stage, we had carried out education and sensitization, which explained the reasons behind the boycott and the Ambazonian struggle for independence. We asked our people to share information about the boycott on social media, on TV, with friends and family, to encourage others to participate. Just stay away, as you did during the national lockdown. You know, that is a message to the world and to the oppressors, to genocide perpetrators, that we mean business. Don't on this earth compromise with evil. If you dare compromise with evil, evil will eat you up. That is why all those who sign a pact with the demon always end up regretting. Organize alternative events or activities that promote Ambazonian culture and heritage and identity. We are very proud. In this case, I do not want to discriminate. Everybody, the soldiers have done their best, the activists have done their best in different platforms. I have seen what ABC has done, I have seen what ABS has done, I have seen what SCBC has done, I have seen what other activists are doing in the domain of sensitizing our people on the need for them to stand for what is right and cause the people that are bringing us this humiliation and pain to come to the negotiation table. And they must, even if they take one of us and make him the prime minister of the world or the governor of the world, we will come down to the central question. Why did you annex Ambazonia? Why did you submit us to this type of humiliation and torture and persecution for 65 years? What did we do to you? Were you sent in this world to come and kill Ambazonians and then die? Like those who are moving about now like cripples. They are unable to stand straight and they cannot think straight. They get to international conferences and they are asking, are there important people in the hall? Like lunatics. Okay, we have recommended boycott participation. So avoid attending any Youth Day celebration or events organized by the Cameroonian government or its affiliates. Refrain from patronizing businesses that support or sponsor Youth Day celebrations. Don't patronize them.
Okay, Mr. Ambang, I'll move to the next question, please.
So this one I just
I'll move.
let us yes.
I'll move
And
to the
spread the
next
word
question.
in every way possible.
Yeah,
Excellent, man.
yeah. I will tell the studio, request for the studio to play me the video about the chief in Ambazonia. Then I'll follow up with some question. The vice president specifically mentioned. Okay, let's go with the this thing first. The video about the chief in Ambazonia.
In terms of the revolution on the ground, we have seen how Cameroon has galvanized our chiefs in order to perpetuate, in order to show a sense of normalcy and boost their ailing president standing within their own population. They have continuously used the chiefs in order to undermine your aspirations, in order to desecrate the culture that you stood, that embodies you as a people. And we call on this chief to desist from their actions. Because in Cameroon, in Ambazonia, in Nigeria, in Biafra, every chieftaincy has some traditional rules and norms. And our traditional rules and norms have a way by which they sanction these types of chiefs who desecrate culture, who do not stand with their people, who do not fight with their people. The Ambazonian Governing Council has commissioned the Education Department to do research so that we can develop a policy position on the future of chiefs in Ambazonia. With hindsight, we know from our culture that when chiefs are sanctioned, they are either fined, they are dethroned, they are banished, or they are sentenced to death, depending on the gravity of their crimes. And as it stands, 99% of chiefs and funds in Ambazonia have desecrated their culture, have committed crimes against Ambazonian people through their actions and their devices. They have enabled colonialism, which is a treasonous act. They have allowed our forces to be killed. And as such, the traditional rules and norms will apply when appropriate. And the policy position will be made known to Ambazonian people.
Okay, Mr. Ambang, let me follow up with a question. The vice president specifically mentioned your department formulating the policy position with respect to chiefs who have betrayed Ambazonia. What can you tell us at this time?
Well, thank you, Ma Najella, for this particular situation. we have a situation that is very pathetic. When the shepherd allows the sheep to be eaten by the lion, can we, in normal circumstances, still consider the shepherd as worthy? These are central questions that are on our mind. You know, when the ACN leadership commissioned the education board to come up with a policy position on chiefs who betray their people, desecrate the land, and help in facilitating the genocide on their people. We sat in the committee and thought that this was a very important assignment. So we dedicated ourselves with a lot of assiduity. And we went through the length and breadth of Ambazonia, from Ako down to Bimbia, into Akwaya, the hinterlands of Menchum. We tried to investigate to find out from each of the villages and chiefdoms and paramount fondoms what the people traditionally do to a chief who behaves the way some of these our chiefs have behaved in the present dispensation. Najella, my dear audience, the results were astounding. Each of our Ambazonian villages, chiefdoms, fondoms, have very clear-cut rules and regulations and sanctions meted out to their leaders. Be it a quarterhead, a chief, a fond. There is no fond who has divine rights of kings in Ambazonia. None. That is what we found out. And so every fondom, every chiefdom is subject to the rules and regulations of their people. I give you an example. In Babanki, Kijemkiku, the people of Kijemkiku ostracized their fond for betraying the people, for standing against the people, depriving them of their land in favor of an alien authority and other crimes that were listed. They ostracized the fund. The fund went and linked up with government of, the corrupt system. They came and wanted to forcefully enthrone the fund that had been ostracized by the population as per the rules and regulations in force. When they enthroned the fund and left, the population took the fund and disappeared him. That is the highest form of punishment, the disappearance of a fund. So these funds are not acting in ignorance. They are fully aware of the things that they are doing. They are hoping that the oppressors, the genocide perpetrators to whom they pay allegiance, will enthrone them, will come back and reinstate them in their fondoms, in their respective chiefdoms, and their quarters where they were formerly administering. But we are saying that the work is still in progress. We are looking at sanctions before, as they were in the days of old, where we were operating before the colonial experience. We are looking at what sanctions can be meted now and what sanctions will be meted after independence. So the work is in progress, and the final document will be out. But as I said before, there must be accountability. It is not only international instruments that are necessary for ensuring accountability. There are domestic and traditional instruments that are used to ensure accountability, from the highest person of a kingdom, a dukedom, a fondom, or a quarter head. So there is no escape. They know what will befall them. They know. Ask about Quifon in Solland. Ask about Quifon in Mancon, or Quifon in Com. The institutions are there to check the excesses of the fund. They know. If you abdicate your throne, or you go and stay out of the country, your chiefdom or your fondom for a number of days, in some fondoms you found out that there are only 40 days. After 40 days, if the fund does not come back, he's immediately declared as not a fund anymore. Can you beat that? Are these people really pretending that they don't know these rules? No, they know very well. They are hoping that Ambazonia will fail and they will take over and continue to betray their people. There is no development taking place in the chiefdoms, in the fondoms. The ring road that was promised 20 years ago, the fund of Zok does not ask questions about it. The fund of Menchum does not ask questions about it. The fund of Kambe does not ask questions about it. They are waiting for the Almighty King of Kings, fund of funds, to come out of the grace, the bounty of his heart, and give you a patch of the cake or a piece of it. And then you will sing motions of support and dance like a lunatic on the streets. You have heard them crying in their fake house of chiefs, handling a special status without status. These are traitors, and the people have taken note. We are calling on all Ambazonians across the globe to support the work that AGOF is doing for the welfare of our people. Our people must regain their dignity, and no traitor will be allowed to trample on the dignity of our people. The time is over. 65 years is too much for people to be dying. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Abang. Thank you for the wonderful knowledge and the education you have given to our people. It was nice having you on Tori Day Talk Show. So we're expecting you anytime you can stop by again. Yes. And before I close, I would like to tell our people to make sure they pay their tax. Tax. Please go and pay. Please, Ambazonians, the only way we have to get these people out of our home, out of our country, is to pay your liberation tax. Pay your liberation tax. Please, everybody should pay. It is not for some particular people. I'm begging, I'm asking that it is our duty as an Ambazonian to get involved. We should get involved. It's about time we stop standing on the sideline and waiting for others to do our job. It's all our job. Yes. And thank you again. You pray for me and I will pray for you. That is the Ambazonian way. Man Najella. See you next time. Thanks.
Najella, who's fighting for freedom? Najella, from southern to northern zone. Najella, Mama Ambazonia. Najella, a land we could call our own. Ambazonia, Najella. Najella, 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 mana, Najella, Najella, Najella. She's fighting for freedom, Najella, from southern to northern zone, Najella, Mama Ambazonia, Najella, a voice we can call our own, Najella, Najella, Najella.